Hello, this is this week's Midweek Meditation. Some very early thoughts on a sermon that I'm preaching in a couple of weeks' time, about a week and a half's time, from when I record this anyway, the 26th of October, on the theme of true humility. And I'm just sort of thinking through, working my way through this particular sermon in this particular passage at the moment, which is it's based on Luke 18, 9 to 14. It's a story of the two men who went to the temple to pray. One who's a Pharisee, one's a tax collector. The Pharisee standing very confidently, listing his good deeds, comparing himself to others, saying, "God, I thank you that I am not like other people." Very proud, very self-assured, and very convinced of his own righteousness. And then at the distance you've got a tax collector, not even lifting his eyes to heaven, beating his chest and praying, "God, have mercy on me, a sinner." And Jesus saying, "I tell you that this man, rather than the other, went home justified before God. For all who exalt themselves will be humbled, and those who humble themselves will be exalted." That's part of the upside down world that Jesus often brings through his parables and through a lot of what he says. And it gets us thinking a little bit about what humility is. It's not so much in our actions, although it shows in our actions. Humility is very much in our heart, because what this parable is inviting us to do is to look inward, not necessarily with shame, but most importantly with honesty. It's not necessarily about thinking less than ourselves. We can think of sometimes humility as doing ourselves down. That's not the point of it. But it is about seeing ourselves clearly, and seeing ourselves clearly in the context of our relationship with God and who God is. So it's about our place in the relationship. And humility, as you develop it and as it grows, and one day I hope I will, it's that sort of quiet courage to say, I need grace. It's recognizing that we need the grace from God. We cannot get there by ourselves. You know, there's a famous world leader who I won't mention by name, who has sort of said recently that, you know, as he's getting older, he wants to get into heaven and he's not sure that he will. And it seems that he's trying to get in there by what he sees as good deeds. Some of those deeds are very questionable. But we need grace. So humility as well is about recognizing that I don't have it all together. We don't have it all together. We're not better than anyone else. One example of this, sort of trying to give you an example currently in my life at the moment, is within college where I work, I am doing a qualification as a student. So I've just gone from being a teacher to a student. And the tutor is one of my colleagues. One of my colleagues that I've worked with for a couple of years. But actually, way back in the day, I tutored him a little bit when he was becoming a trainee teacher. So in some ways, the tables are reversed a little bit. And what I'm learning in this course, I know quite a lot of it, but what I don't know is from the particular perspective that this course is in. So there is so much that I don't know. And it would be tempting to go into these lessons, into this course going, oh, I know all this. Doing this course is just a rubber stamp on things that I already know. But actually that's not true. There are many, many things in this course that I don't know. And I need to be humble. I need to be humble and go, this teacher can teach me. I can learn from this person. I don't know everything. I don't have it all together. And actually all the other students in the room, exactly the same. I can learn from them because they bring a perspective that I don't have. And if I go into that classroom with that attitude of I know all this already, which is almost an arrogance, then I close myself off from what I can learn within that environment. I close myself off. And it's the same with grace. For that humility, opening ourselves up, going, I need grace. I don't have it all together. I'm not better than anyone else. Opens that door to mercy. And it allows God, through that open door, to meet us where we are. Not where, if we don't have that humility, we pretend to be. The standard question in this passage is always to ask ourselves the question, am I more like the Pharisee or the tax collector in my prayers? And of course that's part of it. But another question we can ask ourselves in relation to this is, particularly in our Christian life, but in our life in general, do I compare myself to others in where we are in our journey, in where we are as a Christian? Or do I come before God with honesty, as I am, not as I pretend to be, not as I pretend to be before others, for example, or even pretend to be before God? Can I let go of pride? Lord, thank you that I'm not like those other people, as the Pharisee says. Or can we go into that position where we realise who we are, how far short we are, but where God meets us and where we can receive grace? So then just a short prayer to finish off here. God, have mercy on us. Help us to walk humbly with you. Help us to see ourselves and to see others through your eyes, so that we don't boast in our own goodness, but that we're always resting in your mercy. Amen.